So, as we've heard, Belfast is putting on its best bib and tucker this week, showing off how the city has come on in the last decade to senior executives from local councils across the UK. But they'll also be discussing the changes in local government here. The drop from 26 councils to 11 will mean a serious reduction in the number of councillors required. Julia Paul examines the implications.
During the years of direct rule, local councils were the only democracy we had in Northern Ireland. But it was a democracy dogged by bitter divisions.
I will be implacably opposed to the Anglo-Irish Agreement. And if that means offending ministers of the Crown who I happen to have occasion to run up against during this period in office, I will be doing that.
There is an argument and a dispute between the British culture and the Irish culture in this city. All I'm saying is that I have no difficulty with the British culture, but I want the Irish culture recognised and any other culture which is in this city.
But fast forward to 2008, and this is the face of Belfast City Council.
Well, first of all, welcome to Belfast. You're most welcome to our city.
These 400 delegates have travelled from local authorities across the UK to discuss best practice and marvel at how far Northern Ireland has come.
We have a conference every year to look at all of the kinds of issues that local government works on, and there are wonderful examples here.
But will that still be the case after reorganisation? There are fears that local authorities will lose their most experienced councillors in the shake-up, putting council officers in the driving seat.
There is a healthy tension, and actually I think there has to be a bit of tension to get the kind of drive that you need. Officers bring expertise, technical skills and so on. What councillors bring is they know their local area, they know the people that live in their local area, and they are responsive to that in a way that an officer never can be.
Currently, only 21% of our councillors are women. Could that number fall even further under reorganisation?
What you do want is that local democracy is representative of the entire community. So at the minute, Northern Ireland statistics are actually quite good. We've quite young councillors, they're quite well educated, but yet and withal we've only 21%, for example, of women. So we'll be, some of the initiatives we're running is to support women in politics so that they're actually representing their communities.
But the focus of local politics is no longer here at the City Hall. It's up the road at Stormont. The reorganisation is likely to mean the numbers of local councillors in Northern Ireland reduces from 582 to 460. So when people can go to their MLA with a local problem, how are councillors going to ensure they don't become irrelevant? Well, according to this man, they need to get online. Councillor.info helps representatives across the UK to set up a website. And, unlike their colleagues in England, 40% of our councillors have taken up the challenge.
In England, councillors tend to do as they're told a lot more. I mean, I talk to council officers in Northern Ireland, and they do regard councillors sometimes as, you know, that they don't always roll over and do as they're told, that councillors sometimes try to run the local authority. In England, councillors really don't very often make too much of an effort to run their council. They tend to do as they're told by officers. I think a smaller number of more powerful councillors will compete more effectively. They'll be able to start demanding powers for local government that certainly in the rest of the UK, councillors can't really go to central government and say, give us more powers, because I don't think central government's very impressed with councillors. And I think in Northern Ireland, you know, there's a potential for councillors to be, and councils to be much more impressive.
Well, Councillor Deirdre Nelson has certainly impressed. She's just been named Councillor of the Year by the political bloggers website Slugger O'Toole.
I think councils are very, very important. We can give all of our time and effort maybe in a way that MLAs who are involved in committee work at Stormont things can't necessarily do. It's the immediacy of it, I think, as much as anything.
And she thinks the reorganisation may actually benefit women.
I don't think it will impact necessarily adversely on the numbers. In fact, it may help, because some women who maybe work very hard in their local communities and community groups and within sort of that backroom area will maybe then decide to come forward.
You're getting into very deep territory, and if you're not prepared to specify
Listen, Polly, hold on a
people...
minute. I don't want any further information off you, okay? I don't want a speech from you. You don't need to tell me what I'm getting into and what I'm not. I will confirm.
Councillor.
I'm not referring to you at all. Don't you be chicken to me, wee lad, okay?
Councillor, don't speak to any councillor like that.
The good old bad old days. It's clear that the nature of our councils is going to change. What's not clear is exactly what we'll be left with.
You're out of time now, sit down.